Greetings to the leadership of the Citrus Growers Association and to all of the delegates. Good morning, and it is a huge pleasure and honor to be with you and to be able to address you at this 5th CGA Citrus Summit. South Africa's citrus industry is one of the success stories of our country, and I really wanted to be there in person, but budget politics have intervened. Now, this industry stands out both locally and internationally in terms of its export-led growth and its employment creation. Our country, as many of you already know, is the second largest citrus exporter in the world and accounts for around 10% of global exports. 2/3 of citrus production is exported as fresh fruit, generating 95% of total citrus earnings per annum and supporting substantial job creation opportunities. And just let that think in for a few seconds, how important it is in a country with such a high unemployment rate. Nou, dit was sekerlik nie 'n maklike taak om die bedryf op 'n groeipad te hou en een te wees wat ondanks vele struikelblokke elke dag nog voorstel om sy plek as een van die bestes in die wêreld te behou nie. Now, we can all agree that an integral part of the industry's success story is the people that dedicate their heart and souls and their sweat and tears to see it flourish. And one such story, in no small part, is the story of Justin Chadwick. For 25 years, Justin, as CEO, has been the driving force behind the Citrus Growers Association. Justin was a visionary leader who steered the industry through many challenges and opportunities, transforming it into the powerhouse we can all be proud of today. Now, I did some research and I found pictures and articles of a very handsome young man who from the start knew what direction needed to be taken to ensure lasting success. In the 2007 annual report of the Citrus Growers Association, when the industry celebrated 100 years of citrus exports and 10 years of the existence of the CGA, Justin wrote in his CEO statement, and I quote, "In the wake of the deregulation, growers formed the Citrus Growers Association for one specific reason: market access," unquote. With market access as the goal, research and technical development and transfer was the identified tool to make it happen. And at a board strategic planning session in November 2006, the primary goal of market access was confirmed, as was a continued commitment to funding research and technical work in the citrus industry. Since those early days, growers have identified a number of additional requirements from their association, and this has resulted in resources dedicated to transformation, information, representation, and communication. Although many argue that transformation and provision of research and information is a state function, the reality is that if growers did not fund these activities, market access would be severely threatened. And the association can be proud of the work it has done in creating an equality of opportunity in the citrus sector. A comparison of the accessible global markets for Southern African citrus products as compared to other fruit types illustrates the point. Citrus is now exported to just about every country around the world, while other fruit types are restricted to a few markets, and most export in excess of 80% of their product to the European Union. When we look back, we can see a landscape completely transformed. 25 years ago, our citrus exports were significant, but they were a far cry from the global force that they are today. And we've witnessed, through the incredible work of the CGA and the growers and the farmers and the workers, a dramatic increase in production volumes, expansion of orchards, and embracing of new technologies. This growth has fundamentally boosted our export earnings and created countless jobs in our rural communities where we need them most. We've also been able to strategically diversify our export markets, bringing the wonderful taste of South African sunshine to millions around the globe. We've also invested heavily in research and development, ensuring that our citrus meets the highest international standards and that our growers and associations are at the cutting edge of modern advancement. We've recognized the importance of sustainable practices, working to minimize our environmental impact and ensure the long-term viability of the citrus industry. Justin fostered an environment of collaboration, bringing together growers, exporters, researchers, and government officials to work towards a common goal. Today, South African citrus stands as a cornerstone of our agricultural exports. The baton to this incredible sector is now handed over to Dr. Nchabele, and we are very proud of the achievements by Dr. Nchabele. After all, he does come from the Agriculture Department's Directorate of Biosecurity. He has the experience and the leadership qualities that will help to grow the sector even further. And he can count on the support of the Ministry and the Department to explore and develop new markets, particularly in Asia, the Middle East, and India, to further enhance our competitiveness by investing in value-added products such as juices, oils, and processed citrus, embracing cutting-edge technologies such as precision agriculture and automation to improve efficiency and sustainability. Together, we will continue to address challenges such as logistical bottlenecks, climate change, and biosecurity risks. And there will be no bigger advocate for this sector than the Minister himself. And I look forward to working with all of you to take this citrus sector in South Africa to new heights. Together, we can invest in our people, empowering them with the skills and knowledge that they need in order to succeed. And if we are going to succeed, we need all hands on deck to navigate through the difficulties that may arise in future. One of which is the question whether our country's participation in the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, will be renewed by US President Donald Trump. For over 2 decades, AGOA has been a pillar of South Africa's trade with the United States, granting duty-free access to a range of agricultural products, including citrus. In 2024, the value of South Africa's citrus exports to the US was 1.7 billion rand. If AGOA wasn't in place, the tariff penalty on exports would have been around 35 million. The elimination of AGOA privileges could upend this economic lifeline and risk thousands of jobs across the agricultural value chain. South Africa competes against citrus exporters such as Spain, Morocco, and Egypt, who enjoy trade agreements with the United States. If we lost AGOA, it would obviously place South Africa at a disadvantage, making our products less competitive, and could have a domino effect right through various value chains, right down to jobs at farm gate level. And that is why it's very important that we do all we can to ensure that we retain good trade relations with the United States. I must stress that while this market is crucial, South Africa now must also accelerate all of our efforts to diversify our citrus export destinations. And I further urge all stakeholders, government, industry, and our US counterparts to prioritize the renewal of AGOA, or at least trade tariffs and agreements that will allow us to keep our excellent citrus products flowing to the markets that love them so much. Whatever cards we are dealt, however, we will not give up. We will clear a path where South African citrus continues to shine brightly on the global stage, bringing prosperity to our nation and delighting the consumers around the world. I want to end by thanking each and every one of you for your individual contribution to growing the citrus sector. Thank you for what you're doing to grow our economy and to create jobs. And I look forward to working with all of you into the future to ensure that together we can see the sun rising for many new markets and new horizons opening for our citrus sector in South Africa. Enjoy the Congress.